They're clouds. They eat more healthy throughout the day. They eat more raw foods. They exercise more because they feel empowered. But that's not true.
Well,
the mind is worthless.
You're not being effective until you get attacked.
Yes.
And then when they target you, then you know you're making an impact, Anthony. I'm fortunate I have a really common name, Mike Adams. That's my real name. And so there are a lot of Mike Adams out there in the world. I've been accused of being a car thief, a crack dealer. There's a football player who's a Mike Adams.
I saw that, yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of Mike Adams out there. So your name is very unique. No one's going to find another Anthony Gucciardi, I think, out there.
Yeah, which is a big target.
Right.
You Google my name, who knows what you might see.
Oh, who knows? Yeah. Well, maybe we'll help you out. We'll link to you with your name to a page that tells the truth about your story.
Thank you.
How about that?
There we go.
Good. So let me ask you, is there anything else on this story about the Monsanto GMOs, first of all?
Absolutely. F. William Engdahl continues here. Oh, we have the magic wand. Let's wave it around.
Magic wand. This is, what about the fairy dust? Is there fairy dust that goes with this? All right, so next time, Anthony, next time you go to your doctor, take him this, tell him this is what cured you of Lyme disease.
The magic wand.
Yes.
Anything besides colloidal silver, that's probably more likely in his eyes.
This is like something from the Renaissance Festival.
Yeah.
Like a real craftsman made
Maybe
this.
they might use that, an MD might use that to try and treat your cancer.
This is great. Okay, sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Engdahl continues, USDA's Phelps, which was the spokesman, stated that the U.S. government's goal in fostering the widest possible development of the Terminator technology was to increase the value of proprietary seed owned by U.S. seed companies and to open up new markets in the second and third world countries. So they're dispersing the seed.
Right.
Under WTO rules on free trade and agriculture, countries...
Genetic imperialism is what comes, GMO imperialism.
Yes.
That's the paraphrase of what you just read.
Exactly. Countries are forbidden to impose their own national health restrictions on GMO imports if it is deemed to be an unfair trade barrier.
Wow. Well, remember the WikiLeaks leaked some memos out of Spain where I believe it was the U.S. diplomats there that said if Spain doesn't go along with the GMO agenda, we will punish them.
Absolutely.
Those are their own words.
And it's even deeper than that. In fact, the report goes on to say that many U.S. diplomats, if not all, it doesn't specify that some do not, many, if not all, U.S. diplomats work directly for Monsanto.
Wow, can we highlight that? Put that document over here for the cam. Where is that?
Reporting work directly
Many U.S.
for Monsanto.
diplomats work directly for Monsanto.
And then we have someone who's good friends with George Bush saying that we'll start trade wars with anyone who doesn't agree that biotech needs to be put on the scene.
Yep, that's what they do. These laws are created to serve the global elite interests. That's what it's all about.
Is there any wonder why the USDA didn't respond to the damning letter that we have?
Well, so what do you think then, Anthony, as an activist, as one of the voices that's really making a difference in this realm, if we can't sign petitions that the USDA pays attention to, and I don't see any protests happening at the Monsanto headquarters right now, although there were protests in California.
They shut it down for a day.
Right. How can the people, and I mean the people on the right, on the left, in the middle, everywhere. This is not a Republican versus Democrat issue. This is the people, life on Earth, protecting the future of the genetic code of
the
plants.
biosphere.
The entire planet. How can the people, in your view, actually stop these crimes against nature?
Well, they have to spread the information, get the documents out. But besides that, they have to start buying organic, GMO-free. They have to start emailing, calling their political leaders saying we demand labeling. And we need to stop being afraid of Monsanto. I've gotten death threats. I've gotten anonymous death threats. I've probably gotten 100 anonymous death threats, whether it be calling my personal cell phone, which no one has the number for, or getting emails saying, yeah.
Someone got your personal
cell phone number, left me a message from an unknown number. I tried to track it. We've had people attack our site from Russia with using a bunch of proxies, and they went in and they took down one of our biggest...
Welcome to the Russian hacker target club. Yeah, that's a good one. They always do that.
Denial of service attacks to the U.S. They take down... They actually went into my website, and the only thing they took down was my article that was blowing up on Monsanto. That's it. They didn't take anything else down. What does that tell you? Why would a third party, a disinterested third party, hack the site and take down a Monsanto article?
No, the real hackers out there, the white hat hackers, which is really most hackers, they are anti-Monsanto. They're anti-corporate control. They're anti-fascism. They're anti-Fed Reserve. You know, the real hackers are mostly sort of libertarian, open source minded type of people, which is the kind of people that you and I are.
Exactly, and they would never do something like that. It's more the corrupt level of individuals that work for some type of military service. Or, they're paid.
Yeah, we know. one day, Anthony, we all have to do a big expose of the paid trolls and hackers who are attacking all of these websites.
Yeah.
They attack INFOWARS, they attack Natural News, they attack National Society, they attack others, and they're only partially effective. And we built a lot of defenses in, and you have too. Your site's back up after they took it down that one time. I know INFOWARS goes to great lengths to be protected against all of that. So they're not as effective as they would like to be.
And the reason they're doing this, though, is because we're spreading the information so well.
That's right.
And you see the comment list. I can check on my comment list, and there's 50 of the same IPs, the same computer. Someone typing comments like, "Oh, you idiot! Monsanto's great," and really vulgar comments, or death threats to me, or death threats to other people, or death threats to elected officials, so that someone will come to me and come to my house, knock on the door. Why are you having death threats on your website when it's actually them?
That happened to INFOWARS. Alex talked about that. Someone had posted a death threat on their website, and then the FBI came knocking and visited INFOWARS because some anonymous person had posted the death threat on.
And they say you said that because it's on your site, and that's how CISP and everything else could work like that. If you have something that someone writes on your website, so basically discussion will be censored. It'll be turned off. We'll have to turn it off because of the insane bills.
The other thing to watch out for, and we all have to be careful of this, all of us in the alternative information industry, is watch out for the trolls that try to create infighting. Like suppose someone goes onto your website and tries to get us arguing with each other. Let's say they say, "Oh, I'm from Natural News and I think you suck," or someone from your website does the same thing to me, and then they get us fighting with each other, which doesn't work because we know we're not that way.
Or how about someone submitting the incorrect story to both of us at the same time?
That's happened.
That's happened. We've spoken about that. Someone submitted an incorrect story to us, and we go ahead and we type it in, and it was falsified.
Right.
It was incorrect. And that's a perfect example of them infiltrating the camp.
I'd say to those watching this, I know we're getting into some really interesting behind-the-scenes kind of topics now, but those watching this may not really have a full idea of how much does go on behind the scenes. It's much more than just folks delivering the news and writing the stories and publishing the information. There are great lengths that we all have to go through for personal protection, for server protection, for information protection, because there are elements out there that are paid to discredit us, to attack us, to threaten us, to scare us, even maybe to try to physically attack us.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is why I carry concealed, man.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Yeah. I mean, there's people out there, and look at the mother who attacked Monsanto in Argentina. She got them shut down nearby because the birth defect rate was so absurdly high. And there's also a lawsuit about the birth defects as a result of Monsanto's Roundup Ready, pesticides, everything like that, herbicides, the Roundup herbicide, which is destroying the entire biosphere, by the way. But then they go and they send her anonymous death threats too. It's just so obvious. And look at the kind of company we're dealing with, though. Here's one. Monsanto caught abusing workers in slave-like conditions. So not only are they modifying everything, despite the study showing that it's causing organ damage, specifically in the liver, which is highly important, but they're having slave-like conditions go on. Here's one.
And this was, Argentina, right?
Argentina. So this agency raided them, and what they found was they're having the farmhands work illegally, preventing them from leaving the fields, and withheld their salaries. They had to detassel corn for 14 hours a day and buy their own food at inflated prices from the company store, which was probably modified.
Right? Yeah, like American history. This is indentured servitude in Argentina.
Absolutely, and this is the kind of organization the USDA is defending, giving speed trials for, and it shows their lack of concern for humans. I think that's enough right there. They're running slave rings. What do they care about human health?
By the way, you're wearing a Ron Paul shirt underneath there, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah, there it is, Ron Paul for you.
Absolutely.
I just wanted, people might think, what is that? That's Ron Paul.
Yeah, it's actually from INFOWARS. It's an INFOWARS shirt.
Oh, right on.
It says INFOWARS.com right here. Yeah, I've been wearing it for a while. You can see it's worn out. Wearing it around Austin here. Got a lot of, a lot of hugs and a lot of high fives. Yeah, a lot of Ron Paul stickers around here.
Everywhere that there's a Ron Paul event, it's crowded. There's thousands of people, standing room only, and then Obama launches his presidential campaign, and the stadium's abandoned.
Yeah, or they have Romney. They actually had to change the camera setup so it looked like the stadium was full when it was only one row of people.
Right.
And the whole entire stadium's empty. And you can't do that in the internet age. It was all over Twitter. Right. They had an empty stadium, and then it was just the few people that actually decided to go hear Romney speak.
But at what point, Anthony, does the public wake up and realize this whole thing is theater? That what's being spoon-fed to them by the mainstream media is theater, the security theater that's going on. The TSA is theater. They don't stop any real criminal elements. They've never caught a single terrorist, ever.
I think it's already happening. Look at this city of Austin. A lot of these people are fully aware of what's going on. You know, like I said, walking around with the Ron Paul chart, people give you high fives, and the Fed, you know, I've seen people walking around with just signs to say things like that. It's happening. When an entire city is mobilized like that, it means something. It means something really serious.
Well, that's true. And the truth about that is only coming out in what used to be called the alternative media. I got to say, I think we, the alternative media, are really the main. We are the main media now.
The only one worth anything.
We're the only real journalists actually doing anything. You know, it's like, I know there are real journalists out there who work for papers, but they are censored by their editors, by their sponsors. So I'm not insulting those individual journalists, but they work in a system that controls what they say and doesn't allow them to print the truth.
I've dealt with good-hearted journalists, and we've had some articles on Monsanto go up on some major news outlets, and then their editors come in and they delete them the next day.
Sure.
And we've fussed about it too. We've made a big deal about it, and people are really have stood behind it because it's no longer the age of censorship.
Well, no, but you get it, Anthony. You get that the solution is to become the media.
Absolutely.
To be the media.
Yeah.
Don't bow down to that media letter to the editor at the New York Times. Forget the New York Times. The New York Times doesn't have any credibility among people who are informed anymore. Look at Gerald Celente. What does he say about the New York Times? You know, what does he say about Fox News or CNN even? I mean, before they fired Freedom Watch Judge Napolitano, Fox News had some credibility. And then they fired that guy who was like the one truth teller left on the network. And now it's like, forget it, you know?
And Celente goes on the major networks too, and he still says they're crap.
Yeah, he's just a fun guy. Yeah. He's one of my heroes out there. I love him.
Yeah, he's excellent.
Well, I want to thank you for taking the time to join us here tonight, Anthony, on INFOWARS Nightly News. It's been great sharing some thoughts with you. Do you have any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
Well, I think it's time that the information is here. The information is out. Look at this letter. You know, this letter has been given to me by someone who's an extreme activist, and they're ready for this information to go. We have all we need. It's time to mobilize it. It's time to explain to your neighbors what it means, and it's time to really understand the depth of it, because we're exiting the information period of this whole entire issue. It's time to take serious action against Monsanto and everything else that's polluting the food supply. Well said, Anthony. And I want to encourage those watching to check out Anthony's website at naturalsociety.com. And he's absolutely right. It's time to focus on the things that matter. Stop watching Snooki on Jersey Shore, people. Turn your attention to things that really matter. Get into the documentation, get into the evidence that proves collusion between Monsanto and the USDA that went on for years, and it was well known and well documented now. These documents have come out thanks to your efforts and those the whistleblowers who gave you those documents. This is now factual on the record information. And you're going to keep getting this kind of report right here on Infowars.com with Alex Jones, myself filling in from time to time, contributing writers like Anthony Gucciardi, and of course the regulars, Kurt Nimmo, Paul Joseph Watson, and many others. So thank you for joining us today. And by the way, there is a 15-day free trial that you can get at any time. Become a member of PrisonPlanet.tv. Get the videos instantly streamed to your computer or your mobile device. Watch anytime, 24/7, no limitations. You can also cancel anytime, no strings attached. Check it out. It's the best value for truthful information available anywhere on the internet. Thanks for joining us today. This is Mike Adams, the Health Ranger, filling in for Alex Jones on InfoWars Nightly News. Have a great weekend, everybody.